to get started. Sometimes the right thing is really to start with an outline. I say that I need usually a day to figure out how my manuscript will be looking and what will be the main points of the manuscript, and then stick to those points and look at the points and give the points the possibility to get developed further. Sometimes you might be able to help yourself with specific guides that help you write it more effectively, such as the George Whiteside's Guide to Outlining or 8 Steps to Writing an Effective Outline. This, if you follow, you might have a good start. I usually think about what will be the main topic, what is the story I want to tell with my manuscript. And once I have the story in my head, from that I will be then developing the outline. So I will be starting with an introduction. The introduction sometimes might be the most difficult section to write. Especially PhD students usually underestimate how exactly is the difficulty of an introduction section, because everyone thinks that is just some literature that we are looking at, but it's not really true. So many times in the introduction phase, you will need to select and handpick the few possible options in terms of the literature that you want to introduce. Some journals have also restrictions on how many references you can introduce, and you will then have to pick the best that convey the most the story and are most connected to the story. And the resource that you can consult on this, it's tips to writing a great introduction. The next part is to start writing your first draft. The first draft will always be the one that you will not be sending out to anyone else. The first draft, you will sometimes overthink a sentence and then write once again two whole paragraphs. And the draft is meant for knowing that you have the outline, that you have content to the outline, and then to finalize from the draft onwards in more steps to the final manuscript. So if we look at here at these specific guides that you have available, the Whitesides group writing a paper guide will give you shortly a few questions of what you need to think about when you are writing out that specific draft. So why did I do the work? Meaning, what do I need to put in the introduction to explain why is this even plausible what we have done? What were the central motivations and hypotheses? So why does this specifically interest us? What were the results and how were compounds made and characterized? So what was measured? And the conclusions. So, what does it all mean? And why is this relevant to the other scientific community? And what do they need to make a further difference in the society? So, if you outline, think about the central message that you are sending. Think about what materials and methods you used and were available to you, and then summarize the question and the problems. And number three, the summarization of the question and the problems is very much connected with developing a central message. So if the question and the problem does not interconnect with the central message, you have a problem. So figure out first of all the central message, then look of the questions and problems, and if those two don't fit together, go and optimize prior to writing out further. Then you should Again, interconnect the materials and methods, that's what you already know, with the principal findings and results. So, that is the part that you want to present. So, looking at how you want to present the principal findings and results. Then also consider further to describe the conclusions and implications. So, what does this mean for the specific society? As well as organize the ideas together if there are more ideas, if there are more specific conclusions, organize them together in groups in order to make sure that you have the most effective way of writing them then out, and identify the references that are most important for the key points that have been dealt with.